This week, Royal Caribbean's brand new icon of the seas went viral for being a, quote, monstrosity. While the 250,000 gross ton icon will be iconic when she launches, the whole topic did get me wondering, are there two types of cruises in the world, the smalls and the megas? I'm Adrian, the cruise and travel guy. I produce cruise-related content right here on YouTube every week, so if you're new to the channel and enjoy the video, please consider subscribing. While I think the media hype surrounding Icon is a beat-up that makes little sense, considering Royal Caribbean's 226,000-ton Oasis of the Seas has been around for 14 years, I did wonder if cruise people are separated into two camps when it comes to the size of a cruise ship. Mega ships such as Royal Caribbean's Oasis and Icon class vessels offer an incomprehensible number of spaces and places to enjoy, with up to 8 neighborhoods on board. Each neighborhood offers a different set of features and experiences like arcades, theaters, and restaurants. They're designed in such a way that they offer a more intimate space to enjoy on board what is otherwise a floating city that rivals some small towns. Small ships, on the other hand, couldn't be more different. Physically speaking, a small ship is really just a fraction of the size of today's megaships. For example, Azamara and Oceania's R-class sister ships are all around 30,000 gross tons. In fact, there are 8 of them in service. And if you put all of them together, they would still fall short of Icon of the Sea's 250,000 gross ton displacement. Truly mind-boggling. Small ships offer what I call more of a traditional or regular cruise experience. That means there aren't any neighborhoods to explore, and in fact there might only be 2 or 3 dining venues on board. But what they lack in the variety of spaces they offer, they generally make up for with a sense of greater inclusions and amenities. One of the biggest perks of small ship cruising are the passengers, or lack thereof. Compared to 6, 7, and 8,000, small ships can hold anywhere up to around 1,200. Azamara and most of Oceania's ships only hold around 6 to 700. Oceania's newest ship, the Vista, can carry around 1,200, and Silversea's upcoming Nova holds 728. In early 2018, I cruised on board Azamara Journey, and one of the things I noticed really quickly was just how easy it was to get off the ship and back on again when it was in port. That included when we needed to tender ashore. On big ships, tender queues can sometimes run for hours as thousands of passengers try to make the most of their day in port. I've experienced both extremes, and on port-intensive cruises, I would be swayed to choose a small ship simply to avoid the headache of competing for an early spot to tender ashore. There are methods to overcome tender queues on bigger ships. My favorite is to book a cruise line shore excursion because you generally meet your tour group on board and then you're escorted off the ship. Suite guests or certain loyalty tier members might have priority tender access included as well, which can definitely make a huge difference. Still on the topics of ports though, many small ships can sail right into the center of cities and harbors that larger ships just can't. In particular regions like the Mediterranean, you'll often see small ships docked right in the center of town, while larger ships are docked at commercial berthing facilities or worse, at anchor. This even happens locally. Earlier this year, I was on board Majestic Princess, and because of her size, she wasn't able to berth in Cairns Central City Dock, and instead we had to anchor off the coast at Yorkeys Knob. That meant passengers had limited time to enjoy ashore once the tender process and transfers to Cairns were taken into account. Cruise lines like Azamara also highlight their extra time in port as a defined selling point. Sometimes this involves overnight stays, and other times it means the ship will depart very late, giving passengers an opportunity to explore a city for longer or enjoy a lengthy dinner ashore. I think that highlights one of the differences to the approach of cruising when it comes to big and small ships in general. Small ship cruising can give you a chance to enjoy more time in port and spend less time getting to the center of the action. The destination is in fact the point, and the ship is your mode of transport, as well as being a very luxurious place to lay your head at night. Mega ships from Royal Caribbean, Carnival, NCL, and MSC, to name a few, are all designed to offer amazing experiences on board the ship. You've essentially arrived at your destination the minute you step on board. Icon of the Seas, for example, offers attractions that rival land-based theme parks. It has 7 pools, the largest water park at sea, including raft slides, and the tallest drop slide at sea. There's even a chill zone with a swim-up bar called Swim and Tonic. There are Broadway rivaling production shows, dozens of restaurants and food outlets, and a range of accommodation that spans everything from an interior stateroom to a 3-story family townhouse. Not only is the ship the destination, I think actual ports only serve to disrupt your enjoyment of the ship. While smaller ships may not offer the overall variety of their larger ship counterparts, I think what they do offer definitely comes with an increased, at least perceived, sense of quality. With fewer passengers, the crew-to-passenger ratio is often higher, which theoretically should lead to more attentive and personalized service on board. That was definitely my experience on board Azamara. Mainstream cruise lines know that small ships have the edge when it comes to quality and onboard ambience. That's why you see more ship-within-a-ship concepts on board bigger ships these days, with separate restaurants, lounges, and even sun decks. Ultimately, that's all to appeal to people that would otherwise choose a small ship experience. Without a doubt though, there's at least one thing that big and mega ships undeniably have over small ships, and that's stability in rough seas. If you're prone to seasickness, smaller ships just can't come close to the smoother ride offered by larger vessels. While they will still certainly move around, you can be sure that a 365 meter, 250,000 ton ship will handle things a little bit better than a 181 meter, 30,000 ton ship. Cost is, of course, an important consideration before you book any holiday or cruise, but there's also been a general upsurge in the cost of mainstream cruise line product offerings, and especially on their newer ships. I looked at a 7-night Caribbean cruise on Icon of the Seas departing in September 2024, and the cost for 2 adults in a standard balcony cabin is around 11,000 Australian dollars. Conversely, a 7-night Bermuda cruise sailing on board Oceania Insignia in the same month, also in a balcony room but including a $600 shore excursion credit, beverages, Wi-Fi and specialty dining, comes in at just over 9,000 Australian dollars. That is definitely food for thought. Ultimately though, what I love most about the cruise industry is just how much variety there is. From the smallest expedition ships to iconic monstrosities, there's truly something for everyone. Let me know in the comments, where do your preferences lie? Are you a small or a mega, or maybe somewhere in the middle? Either way, if you are looking to book a cruise on any size ship, you can head to my website, thecruiseandtravelguy.com.au. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't done so already, you can give me a follow on Facebook and Instagram at thecruiseandtravelguy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. This week, Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas went viral for being a, quote, monstrosity. And while big ship cruising is what? In early 2018, I cruised on board Azamara Journey, and one of the biggest things that I noticed immediately was just how there are methods to overcome tender queues on bigger ships. My favorite is to book a shoreline. Still on the topic of ports though, many small ships can dock right into the... That's why you now see more ship-within-a-ship concepts on board bigger cruise ships, with separate restaurant...